Organizational behavior is simply the study of human behavior, and it is the study of human behavior in the context of organizational situation regarding how people behave and why in a particular situation. Here, organizational behavior modification or OB-mod tells that human behavior can be modified based on positive and negative reinforcement. So there are some steps in changing or in modifying human behavior. As suggested by Luthans and Krenithren, OB-mod in organization involve the following 5 steps. So number 1, identification of the critical behavior. The manager should try to identify behaviors that are desirable and undesirable from the point of view of the organization. The critical behaviors that have significant impact on the employee performance must be given due attention because it gets repeated time again and again. Critical behaviors may be identified through discussion with the particular employee and his immediate superior, as both are closely intimated with the job behaviors. Some of the behaviors which greatly influence job performance, these are for example include absenteeism or attendance, tardiness or promptness, complaints or constructive criticism. Next step is the measurement of the behaviors. This step requires the manager to develop some baseline data which allows the manager to determine his success in changing the subordinates' behavior. That is, a manager needs to draw a boundary. Inside the boundary, the behaviors listed inside the boundary are accepted, and if the behavior crosses the boundary, will not be accepted, rather it will be rejected. That is the measurement of the behavior. It may also provide insight into the circumstances associated with each critical behavior. Number 3 step is the functional analysis of the behavior. It is necessary to analyze the pattern of the continued behavior that requires modification. This may require insight and evaluation of the individual differences in behavior. If through this process an inventory of positive reinforce can be developed, the next step of intervention is greatly simplified. Functional analysis must make sure that contingent consequences are identified because these consequences are very much significant. Functional analysis often reveals that there are many competing contingencies for every organizational behaviors. Step 4. Development of intervention strategy. For the successful implementation of organizational behavior modification or simply OB-mod, these steps involves developing a strategy for changing the behavior, implementing the strategy, and then measuring the frequency of resulting behavior. For this purpose, a record is kept of how often the problem behavior is repeated. There are several strategies that can be used in this stage. These include positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, extension, and punishment. Step 5 is the evaluation. The purpose of evaluation of strategies of OB-mod is to know their effectiveness, that the goal is achieved or not. This would reveal whether the undesirable behaviors have been substituted by desirable behaviors or not. This would also reveal that if the employees have undergone a permanent change in their behaviors. Lastly, the manager should appraise the improvement in performance, which is the basic purpose of OB-mod. Measures like quality, turnover, absenteeism, grievances, tardiness, etc. may be used to evaluate success of the OB-mod program. The summary of organizational behavior modification or simply OB-mod. Modern OB-mod is based on the work of B.F. Skinner, who postulated that the needs of the individual employee are inferred by his behavior. If he performs poorly at work, either his work is not satisfying or he is not being appropriately rewarded for his job. Behaviorist theory postulates that Individuals consider how various outcomes of their performance will affect them as individuals and gear their work efforts to the outcome that provides the greatest payoffs. So thank you all for being with the study materials. Subscribe if you want future updates. So thank you all.